So, now that we've covered the basic stats that Limbo can build for, let's move on to the more unusual types of mods that Limbo can use, beginning with a couple of fairly minor things. The various items that can fit into those two strange slots at the top of the modding screen, Aura and Exilus mods. And let's start things off by talking about what most people consider the best Aura mod in the game, Corrosive Projection. This wonderful thing drops every enemy's armor by 30% and it stacks with itself, which means if you've got 4 players running it, you reduce everything's armor by a total of 120%, and yes, this does mean you completely strip it. This is very, very nice for high-level content, and if you can get a team running it, it will make the Grineer into something of a joke. That said, it obviously has no use against enemies who don't have armor, and you can use whatever you like at sortie level and below without any real issue, especially if you have corrosive weapons, stupid amounts of damage, or some other way to get past the enemy's armor. So don't sweat it if you're stuck with another aura. This only really starts mattering once you're dealing with content that the developers don't actually reward you for doing. Now, of the mods that are left over, the only auras that actually do anything unique enough for Limbo to be worth mentioning here would probably be Energy Siphon and Growing Power. Now, Energy Siphon provides a small, stackable boost to you and your team's energy regeneration, works outside of the void, gives energy that can be used by both Quick Thinking and Life Strike, and can provide the necessary power to keep important abilities like Cataclysm up and on whatever point you need to defend. The effect's certainly not huge, but if you do somehow run out of energy on Limbo at a bad time, it can be fatal to not just you, but also your team and whatever objective you're trying to protect. So it is my go-to for anything but the Index, or when I expect to be in a survival for a very, very long time. As for Growing Power, I unfortunately don't have this mod, and I can't see using it as part of my regular setups, but if you are using a Rift Torrent build, it may be worth using. You see, this increases your power strength by 25% after proccing a status of some kind, which makes Rift Torrent do about 7 to 8% more damage per enemy in the Void. That said, it's a pretty small bonus, and it is almost certainly outdone by Corrosive Projection against armored enemies, so it's up to you if you want to mess with it or not. I'm mainly just mentioning it here because, well, it's an interesting mod and it does something that's a little unique for Limbo. But yeah, those are basically the only 3 Rs that I think are really worth talking about. Everything else is stuff that, while you may or may not decide to use, isn't phenomenal and doesn't have anything special to say about them that's related to Limbo. I mean, yeah, you can increase sniper damage, or health, or whatever your aura's buff is, but it's never by much, and yeah, overall, Corrosive Projection is still probably going to be his best mod, like it's the best mod for most frames in the game. Energy Siphon gives him more energy, and therefore slightly improves his, well, basically everything, and Growing Power does something fairly unique. But if you don't have any of those, or don't like them, pick what you do have. Anything is better than nothing, even if it's something like Sprint Boost or Infested Impotence. Now, as for your Exilus slots, this is again sort of a preference-based thing, but there are 7 that I think are worth talking about. Well, actually more like a dozen or so, but half of these are basically the exact same mod. Firewalker, Lightning Dash, Rending Turn, and all of the other bullet jump improving mods are just kind of nice. They make you move faster in the air, and speed is very nice when you have basically no health, shields, or armor. If you aren't using Quick Thinking or getting nearer to an enemy who can hit you multiple times in a short period, this will probably help you the most with your overall survivability out of all of the Exilus mods, and you're probably going to get a few of these early on in the game, certainly faster than you're likely to get a copy of Quick Thinking. But if you do have Quick Thinking, it is well worth getting your hands on Pain Threshold. This makes it so that if you get staggered, you recover faster, and Quick Thinking makes some attacks stagger you instead of killing you if you run out of health. By tossing Pain Threshold into the Exilus slot, you avoid almost all chances of getting chain staggered to death, and so yeah, this is a very nice mod to have for that combo. That said, if you aren't using that combo, or if you're fighting at long range, or if you're just using stasis on everything in the map, Pain Threshold becomes much less important. Now, finally, let's talk about Lua's various drift mods. These provide incredibly slight buffs to certain things, but despite their small improvements, there are some that can be legitimately useful. Though maybe not by a whole lot. Anyways, Endurance Drift gives a tiny bit more energy and is probably the most useless of the ones I'm going to mention. Power Drift can be used to amplify power strength and might be used with a Rift Torrent build. Speed Drift increases casting speed, which is actually fairly nice since Limbo does have long casting times. And Cunning Drift gives you extra range, which you can use for various things. All of these increases are pretty pathetic, but they're better than something like Maglev, and it is theoretically possible to have a use for them. However, the best of the drift mods is almost certainly Coaction Drift. This increases the effect of any Rs that you have equipped, as well as anything that your teammates are using. Like the other drifts, this isn't a massive upgrade, but it does allow for things like, say, 3 players being able to completely remove all enemies' armor with Corrosive Projection instead of 4, gives another point of energy every 5 or 6 seconds with Energy Siphon, and is just generally a good mod to have. However, whether it's worth losing out on the faster movement the bullet jumping mods give, or the extra survivability that you gain from the quick thinking and pain threshold combo, is something that you will need to figure out for yourself. Anyways, yeah, that's basically all I have to say about Aura and Exilus mods. I know that this was a very boring episode, but if I'm going to be complete here, it did have to go in somewhere. Anyways, next episode will be the last part of this little mini-series, and we'll cover the various miscellaneous mods to keep in mind, as well as Limbo's 3 augments. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you later. Farewell.